Good morning and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, a great topic we have today. It's all about the information that we get out to the public regarding the things that are happening in our community.
Yeah, information is key. One of the things we pride ourselves on is trying to inform our citizens about all the various things that are taking place in Leon County, particularly driving issues, traffic conditions, and more importantly, trying to figure out exactly where crime's occurring and keep them up to date to the challenges we're facing as we try to deal with these crime issues, and to talk about the collaboration we have with our other agencies, our other sisters and brothers in law enforcement, and then to talk about technology. I can tell you, without the technology that we've been able to put in play over the last several years, we would not be as successful as we are here in Leon County. And I will tell you, I've looked at what the Tallahassee Police Department does and what we do. There's a whole lot of stuff from a technical perspective that we're engaged in. It's helping citizens be more safe in our community. And we're going to talk about that in greater detail here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this new reporting system because it really is giving more information to the public. And I know you're very data driven within the Sheriff's Office. Why is there such a big correlation for you as it relates to that and the actions that we take?
Well, it's information. And if you don't have the information, you can't place the resources where they need to be. And the idea is to try to match resources with demand. And every day, if we could sit down and drill into the information, the crimes that occurred, where they occurred, and then figure out exactly how can we be more effective in keeping our citizens safe. And that technology helps drive us and get us into those positions. One of the things we're trying to do is be predictive. And being predictive allows us to be ahead of the bad guy out there so that he was planning to steal your car, but we were there to get him before he did so.
That's what we're talking about. That's the success story for sure. Well, and we are talking today with the director for our regional real-time crime center, and you talk about technology and the successes that they've seen since we've stood this up. It's remarkable.
It is absolutely remarkable, and I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I hope our citizens will stay tuned because this is something really, really important to us and to you, the citizens of Leon County.
All right, we want to make sure you want to stick around. We've got lots of information for you today. Coming up after the break, there is a new way of reporting crime data. We've got the details up next.
Good morning. I'm Detective Kelly Womack with the Violent Crimes Unit, and this is your Crime Tip Tuesday.
This time of year, there is an increase in tax-related identity theft. Following these simple steps can help prevent identity theft. Be sure to shred financial documents and paperwork before throwing them away. Watch for suspicious activity by routinely monitoring your financial account and billing statements for any questionable transactions. Order a free annual credit report from each of the major credit reporting agencies such as Experian or TransUnion at annualcreditreport.com.
And that's your crime tip. Have a great day.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
In today's society, kindness can sometimes feel hard to find.
Like a purple unicorn.
Road rage can accelerate quickly.
And gun violence
has taken our loved ones.
But we can all work to tip the scales of kindness.
Spread kindness. Difunde amabilidad.
Spread kindness.
So let's go all in
and spread kindness.
Welcome back. There's a new way of reporting crime data in the state of Florida. Joining us now with more on the new system is LCSO's Executive Director of the Regional Real-Time Crime Center, Leslie Rabon. Leslie, talk to us about your career in law enforcement up to the point you were appointed Director of the Real-Time Crime Center.
I've been at the Sheriff's Office since 2004, so I'm rolling on 20 years. When I started my career there, I was the very first intelligence analyst for the agency. So from that, I've been able to build out the agency intelligence function, as well as crime analysis function, and now real-time crime center. So two years ago now, almost 3, I was appointed executive director. I was over school resource for a little bit, as well as maintained the Intel component, and now I have the Capital Region Real-Time Crime Center.
Real proud of the job you're doing there, by the way. Tell us, what is that? What is the Real-Time Crime Center, and what do you do to make it work?
So the Real-Time Crime Center, the easiest way I can explain it to someone in the public is think of it as an emergency room for our first responders. What information do you need right now to either get you to the call safer, make you, think about your approach differently, but also give you all the information you need about maybe the caller, the victims, the suspects, that address. Really be those eyes and ears for the deputies and police officers that are going to calls, and give them as much information so they can focus on driving, getting there safely, and just getting every bit of information we can give them so they can approach that call for service with the most information that's available to them.
Okay. Now we have this new system of reporting crimes. Why do we have a new system, and what does it do for us?
So since 1929, we've reported under something called the summary data, which is uniform crime reporting, and that's been the standard for law enforcement to tell the public as well as law enforcement how many crimes were occurring. Several years ago, the FBI recognized that this needed to change, and so now they have what's incident-based. So with that, it's going to allow law enforcement to better report the crimes that are occurring in their jurisdiction.
So what specifically has changed as it relates to the information that we're sharing and gathering as it relates to the public?
So under UCR, think of that as a summary. We reported
That's
uniform crime report, yes sir. So under uniform crime reporting, we reported everything on a summary basis. So if you had multiple crimes that occurred during an incident, we had a hierarchy that we looked at, and whatever the most egregious crime that occurred in that series, that's the only one we reported. So if you had a situation where you had a robbery and a homicide, law enforcement would only report the homicide. That robbery, even though in the investigative world it existed, we would prosecute for it, we would charge for it. When we reported that crime, we only saw the homicide in the numbers. So now going to an incident base, we're going to report every aspect of that incident. So we're going to have more data and a better representation of what crimes are actually occurring.
So we've changed the system, more data. So what does this new system do for us? Why the change?
So again, the new system allows better reporting. It also allows more accurate reporting. One of the biggest things the citizen's going to see is when we go from uniform crime reporting, which summarizes, which had 13 offenses, now we're reporting 47 offenses. So again, whereas we use the homicide robbery, before they would only see the numerical value for the homicide, whereas in this one they're going to see that there was a homicide and a robbery. But also internally, we're going to have better data to do our operational planning. Within crime analysis and intel, we're always looking at numbers and hot spots. But then when you get to the administrative level, you're trying to plan those operations, and you're only seeing part of the picture if you're only using UCR data. So this actually is going to take a little bit of work off of our analyst to do those, what we talked about, predictive policing, but also it's going to better inform those decision makers on what crimes are actually occurring, what trends. We can look deeper into that data, whereas before we were kind of just touching the surface.
So how can our citizens learn more about this new system?
So the FBI has information on their website, as well as the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and they discuss what that transition looks like, as well as the impacts that it has on law enforcement. Now, FTLE will still do the UCR uniform crime reporting summary for a bit, because moving forward, you're not going to have the same data sets to compare it to. So for historical purposes and future, being able to compare still the old series of data versus the new, we'll still have both to look at.
Okay. Well, we're going to be right back in just a minute, but thanks, Leslie. Still ahead, Leslie gives us an update on the Regional Real-Time Crime Center, how successful they have been in helping us solve crimes. Stay tuned.
Have you or someone you know been a victim of a crime? You may use the Leon County Sheriff's Office Citizen Online Reporting System to report lost or stolen property, vandalism, identity theft, failure to return leased property, shoplifting, cyberstalking, and more. Go to www.leoncountyso.com, highlight Citizen Center, and click Online Crime Reporting. Scroll down to read and determine if online report filing is appropriate for your incident. If your incident is appropriate to file a report, scroll to the bottom of the web page and click Select Incident. There are several different incident types that can be entered using the internet. Please select one from the list below and continue. Remember, if this is an emergency, please call 911.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
We're back with the LCS Director of the Real-Time Crime Center, Leslie Rabon. Leslie, let's expand on that conversation. Tell us more about what's the next thing to happen with our Real-Time Crime Center.
So the Capital Region Real-Time Crime Center, in February, we will have been open 1 year. So we have our 1-year anniversary coming up. So the center is LCSO, Tallahassee Police Department, as well as FSU PD. So we have a collaborative center, and over the past year, we've been able to train and grow and really become an asset to those out in the field that are working.
Yeah, it was a difficult time to get the Real-Time Crime Center stood up initially. What's been a reaction with law enforcement throughout our region? One of the things we want to do is make this a regional asset. What's been the reaction to our law enforcement partners?
Very positive. We are actually working with Florida State University on some research on our effectiveness of the center. So over the past year, they've done some surveys to gauge the opinions from our local law enforcement as well as our effective approaches to getting information out. Some of those have been extremely positive, and we are seeing now other agencies from within the region calling us asking for assistance, and that's on the state level, the local level, and the federal level. So we have partners that reach out to us daily outside of Leon County now.
Okay, exactly what we were hoping to have happen. So what's a day in the life of the staff at the Real-Time Crime Center? What's that like?
So every day is different. It depends on the call volume, and honestly, some days it depends on the weather. The days where it's rainy and we have a lot of traffic crashes, we're focused more on helping those units that are responding to traffic crashes. But if you have just a regular, just active day, we may start the morning with something as simple as a car burglary. We may have a burglary that leads to an entire theft ring. It could be something like helping someone on Silver Alert or one of the other notifications to law enforcement get reunited with their family. So every day is different. Every day is a challenge, but every day is very rewarding for those analysts in that center.
Yeah, let's talk a minute about the operations of it. What have been some of the success stories that we've derived from the Real-Time Crime Center working with our local partners?
Some that come to mind, we had a case with some commercial burglaries that were targeting very specific products. From Real-Time, they were familiar with that. Using some of the technologies, they were able to find the suspect vehicle, and sharing that with our investigators and our intel analysts back at the main office. That actually uncovered an entire statewide theft ring. I mean, this was something that came from some information from a camera and a single incident. Something as simple as just this week, there was a gentleman with dementia, and he was considered a Silver Alert. They were able to locate him, send a deputy to where the area he was. They found him. They were able to give him back to his family within a few hours. They've assisted on fugitives coming from other areas into Leon County using our technologies. They've identified them. We work pretty frequently with the Marshal Service in helping them locate, not only people from Leon County, but people from other jurisdictions that are hiding out here. We work hand in hand with our aviation unit, and our aviation unit is definitely probably one of our biggest partners just because of the perspective that they bring to a lot of crime scenes.
Yes.
We help on any kind of crime, barricaded suspects, you name it, from a petty theft to a homicide, this team has been involved in it.
So what does it take? What does it take to have the training and background to become a analyst with our Real-Time Crime Center? And I know we've got some vacancies, so talk about that for a minute.
We do. So statewide, we have a minimum standard for analytical support. We do request a 4-year degree or experience in law enforcement, corrections, even communications officers, and we do take military experience. And with that, once you get hired on, we put you through a pretty intense 3-month training program. Just like a deputy goes through an in-house training, our analysts do the same thing. Learning the systems, learning how to operate the radio, learning how to multitask in a high-functioning, stressful environment. So with that, you do have to have the ability to think critically, think independently, not be afraid to take a chance, and be firm in your decisions. But at the end of the day, it's about wanting to serve the public and having that attitude to come in that you're going to do everything you can to help those that are responding to those calls for service.
Yeah. Well, Leslie, I think it goes without saying, I think you realize how impressed I am with the job that you do and the staff does. I am really proud of what you've done, and I think our real-time crime center is second to none in the way we apply it, and much of that goes to your credit, so thank you so very much. Up next in our Deputy on Duty, meet an LCSO lieutenant who's beating the odds after a health scare. Hear how she's using that experience to make a difference in our community. Stay tuned.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office is the proud recipient of the 2023 International Association of Chiefs of Police SIMSI Leadership in Law Enforcement Research Award for their groundbreaking work on the anatomy of a homicide research project. This award recognizes law enforcement agencies that demonstrate excellence in conducting and using research to improve police operations and public safety. The Anatomy of a Homicide Research Project, a commitment to understanding crime, developing strategies based on evidence, and ultimately shaping a safer Leon County. Congratulations to Sheriff Walt McNeil and the dedicated team at the Leon County Sheriff's Office for setting the standard in law enforcement research. On this episode of Deputy on Duty, we're inside the Leon County Detention Facility where Lieutenant Tronya Williams works.
I've been with Leon County Sheriff's Office for about 19 years now. I started in June of 2004.
Approaching 2 decades of service, Lieutenant Williams currently oversees the housing unit.
Typical day of my shoes would be getting here at 4:30 in the morning, of course having check on, briefing your staff on what's going on. From there, your day, you kind of hit the ground running. You're doing your rounds, calls are coming in where you're answering and having to talk with parents concerning their loved ones. Also, you have contact visits. I deal with contact visits a lot throughout the day from attorneys, doctors, and then doing confinement rounds, and then any other thing else that I'm needed with.
While it seems her days are jam-packed, looking back on her decision to join LCSO, Lieutenant Williams says her goal was to be a probation officer, but fate led her down a different path.
So my thing was to go through the academy. Once done with that, maybe come in, get a couple of years of experience, and then move on, get the education and move on. And that completely changed. When I got here, I began to learn the job, and I loved what I did.
The perception that working in a detention facility was a concern for Williams, working with incarcerated individuals, can be intimidating for anyone. And at the time, she was in her early 20s.
I didn't know how I would be able to handle, working with detainees or inmates. I actually handled it very, very well. I learned a lot about myself. The maturity level, I didn't realize I was actually that mature to even handle that type of group, and I did well. And just the family feel from my coworkers and everybody that was here.
That family atmosphere plays a major role in Lieutenant Williams' longtime career. She met and married her husband, Lieutenant Frederick Williams, at LCSO.
I'm his ear, he's my ear. And so because we do, we can't have those outlets in our home, it works out. It works out very well.
Lieutenant Williams says the family spirit at the detention facility goes way beyond the relationship with her husband.
I went through breast cancer in 2020.
And she did not go through that fight alone. With her family at home, to her LCSO family rallying behind her, it all helped her make it through those trying times. Her battle with cancer took place during the COVID pandemic, but her co-workers and community surprised her with a drive-by parade just to show their support.
I had so many of them reaching out to me, messages, phone calls, gifts, you really feel the love.
Lieutenant Williams is now cancer-free. She gives back to the community that supported her by sharing her story of survival. She was the keynote speaker at LCSO's 7th Annual Patrol Stroll, an event that gives first responders the chance to raise awareness and funds for breast cancer research.
Those moments to me, being able to advocate and just share with everyone my experience, it meant a lot, because anytime that I can share my story with someone, I'm all for it.
Now Lieutenant Williams provides that same support to others currently battling breast cancer, all while leading a team of strong correctional officers at the Leon County Detention Facility and her family at home, which includes her teenage son and adult daughter.
I just did not feel that, I went through that to, give up.
Lieutenant Tranya Williams is empowerment personified, and we are so proud to have her on our team. We hope her journey serves as inspiration to join the LCSO family. You can visit our website right now, leoncountyso.com, to apply. I'm Angela Sherrod for Leon County Today.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
In today's society, kindness can sometimes feel hard to find.
Like a purple unicorn.
Cyberbullies hide behind keyboards. Road rage can accelerate quickly.
And gun violence
has taken our loved ones.
But we can all work to tip the scales of kindness.
Put down the weapons and think before you act.
Pay for someone else's order at the drive-thru.
Offer to pick up groceries for an elderly person.
Or just write a kind note and pass it on.
Find ways to spread kindness.
Spread kindness.
Spread kindness.
Difunde amabilidad.
Spread kindness.
So let's go all in
and spread kindness.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, hearing from Lieutenant Williams in her struggle with breast cancer, but now sharing her story as an awareness component.
That's incredible. I really commend her for having the courage to talk about her circumstance and to do it in a way that tries to bring attention to Breast Cancer Month and to be out there trying to raise money for the awareness program. It just speaks volumes about the kind of person she is. Not everyone would go out there and open themselves up as she did, and really proud of her.
Absolutely, such a great message for sure. And then our real-time crime center, it is remarkable how we are leveraging technology. And you know, this started at the Leon County Sheriff's Office and has now expanded to a regional center.
Yeah, this is really important. I hope the citizens out there get it. You hear us talking about trying to get the cameras placed in our community. We're talking with TPD about placing community cameras in neighborhoods where citizens are asking those cameras to be. The link that brings that all together is our real-time crime center, because we can absolutely watch what's going on in those communities in real time and then be able to put resources at the right place at the right time to sometimes stop a crime from before it occurs. And that's what it's all about. And I can't express my gratitude and admiration for what Leslie Rabon's doing to make that come to life. We hope that it becomes a regional asset, not just for Tallahassee, Leon County, but for the entire Big Bend. And I'm working with the various sheriffs in our region, in addition to law enforcement and federal partners. Hopefully one day we'll have a regional asset that's making a huge difference in fighting crime in our community.
And keep expanding and expanding.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
what it's all about.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. And we want to thank you all for joining us for another episode of Leon County Today. Be sure to check out our website and download the kindness card and join our campaign. Have a great day, everybody.